In this video, I want to talk about group therapy that I recently started for OCD to see if it helps anybody decide if they want to start it or just give them an idea of what we're covering, and I'll just share my experiences over the next few weeks. It goes on for 10 weeks, so this is the first week, and I plan on doing a video every single week to just cover what's there and how it's going and how I feel at the end of it. As a disclaimer, it's important to note that this is not a substitute for therapy. This is just to share my experience and hopefully help other people. To give you an idea of the things that I struggle with contamination and morals. Morals is the big one for me, cheating on people or cheating. It may be tests I don't know if I have or not, and I want to check the rules, but I keep checking, and you know how the cycle goes if you've got OCD. The things I used to struggle with in regards to contamination were touching door handles or pushing stuff down in the bin to make more room. I'd want to get a bit of kitchen towel to put on top so I didn't touch anything in there. I'm a lot better now. I regularly cook chicken. I don't really get all concerned about that at all now. As before, I would just be panicking. Any little bit would need to be cleaned up, or I need to wash my hands. But now I'm just much calmer with it. So I don't expect to make lots of progress on that front because there isn't really much more to make because I've done incredibly well dealing with that. But morals is the one I get stuck on. It just keeps going over in my head. I am doing a lot better overall compared to this time last year. August last year was when everything started to sort of turn around when I started a new job, which caused a lot of anxiety, but I just pushed through, stuck with it, and I'm a lot better. I had quite a blip in April this year. I just got really anxious. You know that feeling you get in your stomach. I hadn't really felt that since I'd been younger, but it had really sort of spiked, but I'm much better now. So I want to go on to the stuff that we were taught this week. So we had the icebreaker at the start, just to get to know each other. The person I was talking to, who I was paired up with, we quickly spoke about the reasons why we were there. I'm not going to go into detail about what they struggle with because part of our group rules is to not share what people are struggling with. So these videos will be about sharing maybe what I struggle with and the progress I'm making and what we're being taught to help us cope, rather than gossiping about other people's difficulties. So the first thing we were taught was the maintenance of OCD, how it just keeps going and going and going, regardless of the efforts that we take to reduce that anxiety and try to make ourselves feel better. We have the trigger. An example could be that you've gotten out of your car. So the trigger is you're at work, you parked your car, and now the intrusive thought is, have I locked it? And then the next part is the appraisal and how much meaning you give that as to how much of a problem it is, and you're thinking someone could steal my car and maybe run people over with it, or I won't be able to get home, and there could be all sorts of dangers that await me trying to get home. The next thing was goals to set for ourselves, short-term, long-term, and like really long-term. So the short-term ones would be over the next few weeks. Medium-term would be by the end of the course, and long-term is by next year. So a small short-term goal for me is to not check the oven and fridge as often. The oven for fear of starting a fire and burning the house down, and the fridge just for wasting electricity and having everything go warm in there and wasting all food and people getting angry at me, even though it wouldn't be that bad, but my brain still sort of puts it on a high alert, so I just need to learn to not check. But when I'm in there cooking for like an hour and a half or two, then it's difficult when I finish. It's kind of just being in the situation rather than being upstairs where it's harder for me to check, because I'm in the situation. What I've got to do is just move my eyes over and that's it. A goal by the end of treatment is just to be more confident in myself, because with OCD it's just doubt. One of my morals is constantly being concerned about whether I've upset someone, and sort of just changing the meaning of that so that just because someone upset doesn't mean I did anything bad or wrong, but sort of viewing it differently. We just have a difference of opinion, and that's okay, that's fine. Even though I've made a lot of progress over the past year, there might be some things that I just don't know that might be more helpful throughout the course that I learn to have the tools to recover from OCD and maybe have it not have so much of an impact on my life. One of the big long-term goals that I have is to just notice a significant improvement in my quality of life, just in the way that I'm able to cope with the fears and the triggers that I have, and being able to just change the meaning and not react so intense about the situation, and to not panic so much over some of the triggers I have and learn to cope with them much better. And my other really long-term goal for next year is to just have a lot more peace within my own mind, which I have already made a lot of progress with. Next, we were shown the hierarchy of fears. So we have triggers that will cause more anxiety in us compared to others. The hierarchy was given to us as homework to go over, and I've come up with a few in the morals that I would find quite difficult, and you rate them 0 to 100, 100 being like they cause extreme anxiety, and 0 being they don't bother you at all. One of the ones that's on my hierarchy is checking the speedometer in the car. I obsessively check whether I'm going to the speed limit, and I always have to be, like, if it's a 30 miles per hour zone, I have to be going 30 or slightly lower, like 28, 29. If I'm going like 32, 33, 31, I can't because it's above the speed limit in my mind. But I'm spending so much time looking at the speedometer that I'm not checking the road to see if I actually hit someone, which I would say is a bit more important than being exactly on 30. But my own mind is saying, I need to be 30, I need to be 30. I've made progress in that area as well. That sits at about 50, and I'm making more progress over time. Another one is saying something that is not 100% correct. I put that as 80. I keep saying I think before things so that I don't have responsibility of it. I need to be a lot firmer when I say something and sort of just accept. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's a lot more important to be confident in what I'm saying so that I can contribute more to the people around me than constantly be hesitating, feeling bad about myself, and then bringing other people around me down. So that covers the first week. They're 2-hour-long sessions, and they'll be going on for 10 weeks. So that was the first one. So there's 9 more. So there's 20 hours in total, and I'm looking forward to making more progress as the weeks go on. I feel like I've covered a lot of it already over the past year in my own recovery journey, but there may be something there that will help. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next week with what I learned.